When we started Beer Me That Movie, we said we're going to do 50 feature films. And today is our 25th Fast Five and 25th feature film. Stay tuned to figure out exactly what that means.
Try to keep your pants on.
Beer lovers and cinematic dreamers, welcome to a Fast Five like no other.
That's right. This isn't just any Fast Five. This is our 25th Fast Five, our silver anniversary, our quarter century of nonsense, our holy crap, we've done this 25 times milestone.
And with great milestones comes great challenges. A few episodes ago, listener Greg threw down the gauntlet, demanding we do something that has never been done before on Beer Me That Movie.
Ooh, that's right. Combine all 5 beers we brainstormed today into one feature film. That's right. Nothing is left behind. No beer is too weird. No style too wild. We will Frankenstein these beverages together into a single cinematic monstrosity tonight.
This is cinematic alchemy. This is chaos theory in action. This is a Fast Five feature combo episode where nothing goes to waste.
Greg, you mad genius. This one's for you.
So buckle up and grab a pint and prepare for beer-fueled madness, because we're about to break the format in the best and possibly worst way.
But first, let's take a moment to reflect on the fever dream that was last episode's feature.
An odyssey of chicken nuggets, competitive weightlifting, and a man defying biology to lay an actual egg.
That's right. It's time for the recap of Nugget, Nectar, an extravaganza of poultry, protein, and one man's horrifying yet inspiring journey into egg-based reproduction.
This is a work of fiction brought to you by people who've watched way too many movies while drinking way too many craft beers.
So last week we decided, after being encouraged by our friend Brian Davis, to feature a big-time beer.
One that's surely a pleasant or cloudy memory for most of you, and have cracked a can or a bottle of the hop-infused badass that is Nugget Nectar.
And we've actually got a speak pipe review.
Ooh, yeah.
Before we get into our own recap, I'm going to roll the tape and we're going to listen to Brian's review of Nugget Nectar.
Hey, John and Harrison, it's Brian Davis. Let me start by backing up a couple weeks and say, anytime you guys do a sex comedy or an off-color movie, Harrison should wear his Nicktoons t-shirt. Amazing. I just finished Nugget Nectar today. First, thank you. I'm honored to have your main character named for me. That was great. And as usual, you took this off-the-wall idea and created a movie with interest and a deep mythology. And you guys did like a chicken Illuminati kind of thing. Fantastic. I guess that's it. I loved it. Like I've loved every other movie feature you've done. Keep up the good work. I look forward to you following through on Greg No Relations Challenge in next week's Fast Five. Take care. Bye.
That's right.
Great to hear from you, Brian, and that's exactly what we're in the midst of tonight.
That's
so,
it.
Before we get there, Harrison, do you have any? I mean, we got a round of applause from Brian,
Yes.
the star of the movie, who suggested the beer. So I'd say we nailed it. But
I think that's all we need to know. Brian loved it. Yeah, it was a wild episode. It might be one of my favorites. I don't know how many times I say that, but whatever. Lots of, a few thoughts. So, also as a quick note, we're kind of surprised how fast food chains have reached out to us to learn more about what we can do for fried foods. We really catapulted chicken nuggets, I think, into a whole new stratosphere.
I've eaten 60 since we recorded that.
I probably have too. It's most of the meals around my house are nugget based.
In nugget form though.
Yeah, right.
I've not been juicing.
Right,
No
yeah,
games.
not yet. But that was, so anyway, call us if you make nuggets and want us to, I don't know, promote them or something. But aside from that, A couple things stood out to me. We'll start with maybe the less obvious. So Dr. Cluck, fun to have someone else from Lagerstein show up and be another evil character. That would really throw Lagerstein under the bus, but whatever. But that was great. I think there was a couple attempted Al Pacino.
Yep, yes, there were. Tarvish, I think, went from Tarvish, the greatest accent ever, to Al Pacino / even bipolar.
Yeah, and then he got hit in the head a lot. He was a boxing coach. I think he has two people in there at least. So fun times. The Order of Human Excellence.
Great.
That made me chuckle forever. And really, speaking of them, I think one of the things that I laughed about the most after the episode was the Order of Human Excellence. Their whole thing was like, we're the chosen one for humanity is a man that will birth an egg or whatever the hell we said. Yeah. And little did they know they were like almost right. It was just a chosen one for chickens, not humans. So they like got so close, just picked the wrong cult and misinterpreted some ancient texts or whatever.
Like anytime you try and summon a demon, there's a fair chance.
There's always a catch.
You might get the wrong one.
Right.
You will get a demon.
Get a demon.
Once that happens, it's sort of out of your control.
Oh my gosh. But that made me laugh a bunch afterwards, just thinking about that and kind of thinking, oh, we did it. We summoned. Here he is. Oh my God. Why is he killing us all? Why are all the chickens free? What a bummer. So anyway, those are my thoughts among others, but I'll stop there. John, what do you got? What were you thinking about?
So I think coming up on the end of that, even rewatching it during the edit, it felt like we really didn't know what we were doing, turning Brian into a chicken or having a baby chicken John Cena. But I feel like workshopping that as we were recording made it a lot of fun. Yeah. And it seems like we're kind of hitting our stride with overtly weird plus some sort of comic relief plus whatever genre is thrown in our direction. So that one felt like it was becoming unstoppable.
Yeah.
But along those lines, it was also one of our longest feature films. That ended up being about 90 minutes.
Right.
And we've had a couple do that.
Yeah.
My question to everyone is that an acceptable length of time for you to be pooping while your family handles the chores? Or do you have a preference? Do you like them shorter or just take them as they come? If you do have a preference, let us know. I'd be curious to hear what you think. And I'll keep trying to find ways to put Tarvish accents in our next movies.
Yeah, exactly. But you're a good call out about the 90 minutes. If the past few have been longer, I don't feel like it though when we're doing it. I did not. I was surprised when I saw the final cut of Nugget Nectar that it was as long as it was. And I think, well, definitely Bill's Banana Hammock was also long. I think Back Alley Kitty might have been something else. Also, maybe Muffin on the Backside was long too.
The sex comedies just take a while. I think
there's a lot to talk about there. A lot of scenes we got to illustrate, got to talk through. A lot of
how did the scrotum be filled with ranch dressing?
How much sweat?
We didn't even touch on that backstory. We had to cut it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Stay tuned for the director's cut of that one. It's very inappropriate. But yeah, you never know. And then you get ones like, what was a Joint Resolution that we like almost fly through, I feel like, but it's also still a full movie. So you never know. But yeah, let us know if 90 minutes is too long to be yelling that you're still going to the bathroom to someone who needs you desperately while you watch this. And we'll see.
Put him in the air fryer.
We'll see what we can do. No promises. Oh my gosh. Cool. All right. Well, enough reminiscing. It's time to forge ahead. And what better way than by giving our next beer the spotlight it deserves?
Couldn't have said it better myself, Harrison. Also really thirsty. So
I know.
Please let us know what's stepping up to the plate. Pop the tab and give us a rundown on the beer of the week.
Like your favorite uncle, we're going to drink this beer and let it inspire us.
All right. So John brought today's beer of the week, so thank you, John.
1 out of 25 episodes.
No. He also brought the mayonnaise beer. Let's not let.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Really important one.
You never know what you're going to get.
This one hopefully has no mayonnaise in it. So this is the original beer this is based off of is one of John's favorite, one of my favorites. So we're having Founders All Day IPA, but the single hop mosaic version, which I have not had yet. Founders, of course, out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. This is a session IPA, 4.7% ABV. And from founders, they briefly say the single hopped all day. You never know you need it. Is here to quench your thirst. All day single hop features the classic mosaic hop. You can expect intense pineapple, citrus, and dank hop aromas. The light body, mild bitterness, and clean finish. This single hop all day delivers on everything you love about all day and everything we love about hops, a showcase of what hops are and can be.
You sound like the announcer from The Price is Right as I'm like trying to pick a over under $4.
Pick the door. Yeah, right. Okay, right. How much does a banana cost? $11? Been to a grocery store? Cool. But yeah, this is obviously all day IPA. Started the kind of session IPA revolution. I love Mosaic. Let's dive into this thing and see what's happening.
Oh, you sons of bitches, founders.
Oh man.
This beer is, I think, maybe the beer I've checked into most on Untappd, which means it's definitely the beer I've drank most of in my real life outside of you know, college beers growing up.
Right.
But this is, at first I'm kind of pissed at them because it doesn't taste like the all day that I fell in love with in my early days in craft beer, but damn, is it good though?
Yeah, it's very good. And they, you know, it's funny, IPA, you don't talk about the malt a lot, but I love the way this tastes all around. Like it's got enough body where it doesn't taste thin. It's delicious. I love this beer. The original version. This one's great too. A little lighter maybe, but lovely kind of fruity. Blueberry is Mosaic for me. I'm always hunting for the blueberry, and I get a little bit of that right in the nose, so I'm happy. But this
mouthfeel good.
Mouth feels good. Mouth feel good. Mouth feel real good, John. Mouth feel good.
That's what I was looking for.
Talk a lot. Talk. My mouth feel real good.
Yeah, this is at 4.7. This is a beer that you can drink and feel like you're having a beer, but you can still cook dinner,
right? Exactly.
Yell at the kids, wash the car, whatever you might have to do in your real life to be
exactly. Rob a bank, whatever you gotta do to pay the bills. You can have one of these while you're doing it. All right, cool.
And so while I've got you, there was a couple check-ins I found on Untappd, and I wanted to highlight one of them at least really quick. It's a check-in from one of our friends who goes by Jay Emery on Untappd, and it's just, I loved it because it's a picture of this beer with two G.I. Joes in the photo. And I think
Original
this is a G.I. Joe quote. I don't really know, Harrison.
What, G.I. Joe here? Don't let that ordinary station wagon fool you. That's a Cobra mobile missile launcher. It has laser-proof armor on all sides, super thick laser-proof windows. And that's not a canoe on the roof. That's one of Cobra's cruise missiles. That's amazing. I can see it. It's Saturday morning, me in my underpants with a bowl of Lucky Charms spilling all over the ground, watching this episode of G.I. Joe. So thanks for taking me back there with this beer tonight. I think, is this tacked on it? Is that a box of cigarettes? It doesn't matter. You
gotta use some sort of props to get your beers lined up and your photos. I don't know. G.I. Joes remind me of growing up.
I guess I'm putting this all together. He's talking about the car in the logo.
Yeah, I'm glad you're putting it together as I set you up with like, I don't know if this is a real G.I. Joe quote. On the photo of the can, if you're not watching the podcast, there's Founders has a station wagon with a canoe on top.
I put it all together. I got there. An old Woody, as they say, which you can still say, I think, in the right context.
Yeah, it's better than a dangerous Woody, than a
surprise
rusty,
Woody,
thanks,
Woody.
All right, well, there we go. Trying to show off a check-in, and technology gets in the way,
breaking everything.
So I'm looking forward to drinking this beer, but you also might have noticed something pretty cool about this show. And that's, we don't run ads on this show. No mattress deals, no weird meal kits. Have you heard about this VPN interruptions constantly taking you away from the fun that you're seeking? But we do love hearing from you. Your beer suggestions, your ridiculous movie ideas, and whatever else is rattling around in that G.I. Joe brain of yours.
That's right. So hit us up, comment on social, slide into those DMs, or leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/beermethatmovie. We play a lot of those on the show like we did tonight. And honestly, it's the best kind of chaos.
All right, folks, this is it. The big 2-5. That's
Oh
Fast
my
5 number
gosh.
25 and also feature number 25. Buckle up because this thing's got more horsepower than a Toyota Mustang.
Okay. That's right. We're shooting this bad boy into 5th gear, just like a classic Corvette Camry.
Love the Corvette Camry. And if you think we're sticking to the speed limit, you don't know us at all. Let's floor it into Fast 5 and feature number 25. So for the first beer in this Fast 5 where every beer becomes part of the film, we're going to start with a beer from Pizza Port called Endless Shoreline.
Ooh, Endless Shoreline. Nice. Yes, this is perfect. Obviously we need somewhere for this movie to exist. We
I like what you're doing.
Setting, John. So I think we need to start here. This is a perfect place to start. Endless Shoreline. Also, I was sitting here pontificating a little too deeply and my head hurt, but isn't almost every shoreline endless? Like, you could walk on the beach in like forever. I mean, not forever, but you could.
If you're in shape,
around
shorelines are
yeah,
not
right, I was
endless.
gonna say, right. The shoreline ends for me in about half a mile. But you know, I don't know. I guess you probably maybe have to do some swimming, but like the whole shoreline of the east of the, I don't know. I guess you walk all the way down to Cape Horn if you wanted to.
That's a
It
good
would
point.
just take a while.
You could continue walking on a version of a shoreline,
Right,
which for this movie means it could be an endless shoreline. Most of you are probably thinking, like me, because I'm a regular person, a beach of some
Right.
sort. But this shoreline could be a shoreline that butts up against a urban city as well.
Exactly, or Cape Canaveral. Maybe we're going to the moon. Who knows?
Or really,
Or are we already on
Is-
the moon?
an island, an endless shoreline.
Right.
Maybe it's an island.
To a man trapped there forever, everything is endless.
Just walking around.
Exactly right.
This place is huge.
Oh my God, is this
And
the
someone out there's
right.
2 tracks in front of
Is
me
this
now.
the poop cove or the drinking cove? Damn it! What have I done? God, am I losing my mind? So that's gonna get dangerous on those islands by yourself pretty quick for many reasons.
Oh, I almost like the idea of putting it on an
I
island.
like the little poop cove island.
Patent pending. Bring the kids down to Poop Cove,
that's
where
it.
everyone's guaranteed to get
careful.
a shot at the end of the day.
Careful. That's right. Woo. Okay. I like this. So all right, let's be on an island. Get on an
Okay,
island,
so-
John. So we think. We're on an
I don't
island.
want to make this too. I do want to make this too easy, but let's give this island some distinct feature so
Okay.
that we're not just softballing up whatever the next beer is. Like this
Sure.
could be a frozen island, it could be a hot island, it could be inhabited by people that take your skin and eat it or wear it. It could
Okay,
be an island full
okay.
of crops,
Hold on.
drugs.
So I think our protagonist wakes up on the island, doesn't know how they got there, and it's a jungle. I'm saying like a classic, Caribbean island.
Jungle Island.
There's a mountain at the top of the island, back of in the thick of the woods, and that's really all we know. And then maybe there's, and he wakes up and sees, no memory how we got there, sees a pair of footprints walking away from his
Ooh.
body into the jungle.
Okay, this
That's
is
what
good.
we got.
This is good.
That's all we know from Endless Shoreline.
Beer number 1, Endless Shoreline. Protagonist wakes up, footsteps going off. He doesn't know how he got there.
No idea. Horrible headache. Is he hungover? Did
What's
he
he
get knocked
wearing?
out?
Was he wearing like a business
No
suit
pants,
or
just a button-up shirt and tie. He's
a
Winnie
shirt
the Pooh in
and
it.
tie, but
Right.
totally free ball?
Completely Winnie the Pooh in it.
It's got to
Donald
be
Duck in it.
chafy, all that sand. Who
Yeah,
knows how long
full
he's
of
been laying
sand. That's
there?
what woke him up. A quick sandy enema. That'll get you going. And he went, wait a second, where are my pants? Where am I?
So in the island's jungly, like there's no like airport
Yeah,
or
you can't see it.
doesn't
Yeah.
look like there's any civilization here.
As far as he could tell, it's uninhabited except for whoever owns these feet.
There's one Domino's, of course. 'cause
Right, they're
where
everywhere.
isn't there?
Right, that was their plan.
All right, beer number 1 gives us the setting. Let's see what beer number 2 is going to give us in this weird thing we're doing.
One down, more to go.
So for our second beer, it comes from Alan P. and it's made by Captain Lawrence Brewing,
Nice.
and it's called the Cap is back.
Ooh.
Which,
okay.
I don't think this is about wearing your baseball hat backwards.
Right.
That would be a baseball movie or a movie about every guy that's ever owned a truck. This is, my first thought is like are you allowed to say natives if you're talking about people that natively live on an island?
I think so. I think we're supposed to now.
Okay, so the natives of this island maybe have begun to celebrate the return of their captain. Like the cap is back. Maybe he is their captain. We don't know anything about anything other than it's a jungle island.
We're in a jungle island with a pantsless man with sand in his pubic hair walking around on this beach. Okay, got it. So I see this. So he follows these footsteps into the jungle a little bit, still dazed, and maybe hears some hooting and hollering and chanting in the distance, and comes across these native island people with like a big wooden replica of a boat, maybe, that they're dancing around and seem excited about, which is maybe how their original captain arrived there, and see our character, who we should probably give a name to
eventually.
Okay.
Not important.
Fine. Stumble into this clearing and be immediately greeted as the cap is back.
It could, if we go down that thread.
Okay.
The natives of this island are, what are they called? Mariners? Marine mariners? What are those?
Oh, boy.
They work on ships that move big crates back and forth.
Okay.
So they're not necessarily natives on this island, we learned.
Oh, okay.
But they're shipwrecked on this island, and maybe this is their captain that washed up to the island.
Okay. I like this. Perfect. Let's do that. So maybe they all greet him and say, "Hey,
they know who
Cap, they got
you don't have your pants,
you, right?
We took them.
Got you good. You were snoring on that beach.
Packed so much sand in your ass.
Finally got you back for that horrible soup you made us eat for those 7 weeks we were at sea. But we're all even now, except for the endless diarrhea we all suffered. But still, we're close to even. Okay, so I like this, and he's kind of. And does he realize? Do his memories come back, or is he still maybe a little confused and not trusting?
Because we have no idea where this is going to go in the next 3 beers, let's keep the captain out of, like, he doesn't know. Because I view maybe he wasn't their captain.
Yeah, I like that.
But he doesn't remember yet, but maybe he thinks he recognizes the faces, and they're like, yeah. Okay, so they're calling him, they're calling him Captain Bickle?
Captain Pants?
Captain
And that's as a joke, and maybe you can't get a straight answer out of them.
Captain No Pants
Captain
over
No
here.
Pants.
Used to be so hard on us when we were out at sea, but now we're all even.
And how about, let's do this. Let's give us a little breadcrumb maybe we can come back to later. So as he's, right before all this happens, he's following those footprints into the jungle. He sees something in the sand right next to him. It's kind of glimmering. He bends down, picks it up, and it's clearly a woman's earring. And he's like, oh, all right, well, I guess I'm following a woman's footsteps. Then enters this clearing, sees his supposed shipmates. They greet him, throw his pants in his face, and have a good laugh. But no women around in this clearing.
Couple different accents, of course.
Oh, boy, are there.
But,
hey, it's me, Al.
Boy, Captain No Pants. The cap is back.
The cap
is
back.
Maybe he's holding the earring, but he's immediately distracted by this. Like, the cap is back. Yep. And they don't, to be clear, as we're going, they don't look like natives. They look like shipwrecked sailors.
Yeah, right.
So just think like
ripped
50s
up
movie blue collar worker,
Gilligan Island type.
Yeah, like someone that's worked in industrial buildings, building metal tools with lathes and stuff. Like these are the guys that were on the boat. That it seems like there was a boat that shipwrecked. They packed sand in Captain's ass after they took his pants off and left him there.
Captain No Pants.
And he's found his way back. The cap is back. But I like the little, he finds the earring nugget, which pirates wore earrings, guys wear earrings.
Right, exactly. It could be. It's like a hoop earring, which also is a pirate earring. Let's have it be that.
But there's a little gem in it, maybe. Like, it looks pretty effeminate
for
an ear, as far as earrings go.
Right.
And okay, so there's a bit of a welcome back. Do we want to get into what they talk about and what they learn, or is that for the next beer?
I feel like that's the next beer. We've established the Cap is back. Let's see what they talk about. Let's find out kind of what happens next.
I love where this is going. We've got 3. This is going to be the fastest one yet, and I'm excited because I have no idea where it's going.
It might be, but right. Sit around. Maybe they get around a fire or something and start telling the Captain No Pants, some things. And beer number 3 will help us figure out what the heck those things are.
Let's figure it out.
That's 2. You guys are thirsty.
So we're looking about what they're talking. We're looking for.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Which
this they're talking about robot. Did you? That's it. This is it.
Okay,
oh
so
all right, I got it.
We automatically landed on beer number 3, which is going to give us what these guys are talking about as they're reunited with the captain. It's made by Hopworks and it's called Robot Panda.
Okay. So they gather Captain No Pants around the fire they've made, and they were jovial a minute ago, laughing about how much sand he had in his nethers, but now the mood shifts a little bit and things get a little more serious. They're like, God, Cap, thank God you're back. We're not alone on this island.
Natives?
Maybe, not exactly. Little Jimmy Two Toes, he saw something last night when you were snoring on the beach and half of us were packing your quiche chair full of enough Santa Make a Hope diamond. It was in the woods. It had glowing red eyes. And little Jimmy, what'd you see? You tell the Cap.
Oh, it was a panda bear, but it was a robot panda, Captain. I've never seen anything like it in my whole life. You could hear the gears, but it was still itching, scratching. It was eating up some of the eucalyptus, I believe they eat. It was a panda like no other, and as it noticed me, it began to bear down on me like something that made my balls come all the way up to me throat.
Oh my God!
Two-Toe Jimmy got 10 years older in that speech.
Two-Toe Jimmy's seen a lot, and so perfect. So everyone's wrapped with and listening to Two-Toe Jimmy's story about this creepy robot bear that is now loose in the woods and maybe hunting them there for nefarious reasons. What do you got?
I don't mean to tell you this, Captain.
Yes, Two-Toe Jimmy, go ahead.
But the robot panda ran off with Guinevere.
Oh. And then he reaches in his pocket and holds the
earring.
The earring, that's what it's called. And maybe holds it up and they're like, yes, she had 2 of those on last night. I see you found the one. Perfect. This is great. So now we've got Guinevere has been maybe
hate
captured.
that I came up with that one, but
it's good. Good old Gwenny captured by this robot panda, taken like King Kong took Jane. We'll assume, or maybe discover quickly, to the top. Maybe at that exact moment, here we're stealing right from King Kong. So hold on, I don't want to do that, but let's. Maybe at that moment, not drums on the mountain, but maybe a pan flute. We start hearing the call of the robot panda off in the distance, taunting the men.
Sorry, Dave Chappelle.
And right, maybe just you hear Gwen's faint voice going. Just a scream.
Cap!
Yep.
Because that's what she calls him,
Everyone calls him Cap.
But I think there's
maybe
there's,
no one
there's a
knows
budding
his real
romance
name
there, but
yeah.
Captain No Pants.
Everyone calls him Captain No Pants. He's a bit of a drinker. Doesn't take his job seriously. It's not the first time he's been pantsless on a beach.
You can't see my ham hanging when you're looking at me through the port window. I don't know anything about ships. Yeah.
That sounds real. All right. Perfect. Now we got a problem. Now we got this Guinevere's been captured. Robot panda, which is, I guess, even more terrifying than a regular panda. However, maybe something to keep in the back of our minds. Robot, where it's salty sea air. Maybe this isn't the best place for a robot panda to be, and maybe that helps Captain No Pants and his merry band of misfits at the end. We'll see. We don't know yet.
Maybe there's a little exposition room where where Two-Toed Jimmy, gave his emotional retelling of the Robot Panda.
Yeah.
But Gunny Sarge, who's been a merchant marine his whole life.
There we go.
Yeah. I also saw the Robot Panda.
Perfect.
He was looking pretty fresh for an island robot. You know what I'm saying? Like he's taking the leaves from the trees and using them so he's cleaning himself. Or he just got here. Maybe he was on the boat with us, but he didn't look like a robot what lives on an island in the salted sand.
Yes, love it. Thanks, Gunny. Good recon, boys. Let me put my pants on. There's a lot of information coming at me, and
flying up on a palm tree somewhere.
Right.
No, we're using your pants to let people know where we are, sir.
Sorry, you're all right, aren't you? All right, love this. All right, perfect. So this is what a great gift this beer was from Hopworks for us.
Robot Panda.
Exactly what we needed.
Okay, so we're coming up on beer number 4. What's the next thing we're looking to do? Is like figure out next steps.
Exactly.
How do we get Guinevere back?
We gotta save Gwen. Maybe there's a bit more to this panda than we realize. Is there only one? Is there something that's released this robot panda into the jungle? All questions the men probably have, but the urgent need is to save Gwen from this robot. So how the heck are you gonna do it? You got almost no supplies. Definitely don't have any pants.
That's true. And like any good movie released today, we're going to ask a lot more questions than we answer.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next beer.
So for beer number 4, we got really lucky. Thank you, Treehouse Brewing, and Sarah and Todd for checking this one in. King of the Mountain.
Mountain.
So we had Robot Panda take Gwen away into the jungle.
Yes.
We sort of know Gwen's at least part of the group because they knew who she was.
Right.
Cap has her earring now.
Yes.
And the resolution or the adventure that they need to go on next involves King of the Mountain.
Love it. Ooh. And so we just heard the Robot Panda play his pan flute and Gwen scream in the distance towards the mountain, I should add. And maybe that's kind of where we pick up, where we see kind of just the trees parting ways a little bit as Gwen screams up the mountain and the Robot Panda.
How big is Robot Panda? Is it abnormally large, regular panda size, or fuzzy and cute?
Maybe not fuzzy and cute. I'm imagining we don't even know in the stories we've heard about Robot Panda. It's just flashbacks.
From Jimmy
and the Gunny
Sergeant.
And I think in this moment we don't even see it either. Just hear Gwen screaming and kind of the forest trees moving out of the way as something, the Robot Panda, scoots up to the top of this mountain. But I bet it's bigger. I'm saying it's maybe larger than anyone expects.
Like polar bear?
Yeah,
size?
sure. Let's say
maybe
polar bear
even
size.
bigger.
Maybe bigger.
It's a robot, so really their size limitations are like, what can steel hold up?
Exactly. So it's big. It's a polar bear or bigger size panda bear.
Wow,
We'll learn soon.
I just wanted to be afraid of it, or know if it was going to be cute. So
we should. But again, it's just like David and Goliath. Big tree fall hard, John. Maybe there's the
Harrison talk again.
His strength can also be his weakness, which we'll figure out. And I want the salt air. I mean, I don't want him just to seize up like the Tin Man, but maybe I kind of do. It'll be cooler than that.
A lesson in keeping things lubricated if you're on the beach.
This is sponsored by Valvoline.
Captain Shirley knows about after his first wake up there. So. Okay, so the crew now, this little crew of guys that have been shipwrecked, let's say there's 6, 7, 10, 12 of them?
Yeah, let's say less than 10.
Okay, so we got a little ragtag crew. We've been shipwrecked. We don't have supplies much. One of the guys has been eating coconuts. The other guy splits the coconuts in half and wears them like a bra and says, if you need to, I can perform for you.
Right.
So like we're looking for ways to improve morale, but we're also hungry and there's no alcohol, which Cap severely needs.
Yeah, the problem for him. His headache's getting worse.
Put some sugar in that coconut juice and put it in the sun now.
Oh, I need some release, sweet release.
At that point, through the trees.
Yes.
Help!
Yeah.
You see presumably Robot Panda making a beeline for the mountain.
Yes, with Gwen right in tow somehow, but it's all unclear. The trees are obscuring everything, and Cap maybe takes a step that way. Again, he's still pantsless though, and gets 10 feet down this little path where he realizes I am in no condition to fight a Robot Panda by myself. We need to band together, do something more with these coconuts than making bras and spooning each other. We need to
it feels like real, Cap. It feels like real.
When it's dark, it's exactly everything's the same in the dark. It's all no rules on the island. And so I'm imagining almost like maybe a montage scene, or they decide to explore a little bit more, and we could give them a little help from the universe. Maybe they find an old World War II fighter plane crashed in a tree that's got like a propeller they can use, and maybe an old knife.
Weapon building montage.
Exactly. A weapon building montage. So we're taking apart the propeller and tying it to some oars or something to make spears.
Gunny takes off his one wooden leg and starts sharpening it.
Yes, exactly.
But then he can't walk because he keeps sinking into the dirt.
Carry me 2 toes.
Give me one of those cocoa titties and put it underneath my sharpened peg.
That's right, like you're moving a couch. Gotta have some foam, some felt under here. Give me something smooth so I'm not sinking in this sand.
I'm gonna put my foot up this thing some hole.
Does it have holes? It's a robot. Quiet down, 2-toe.
Everything has eyes.
Everything's got a hole if you're strong enough. That's a weird sentence. So
I was a merchant marine for 72 years.
Right.
He's basically a robot himself.
He's mostly, he's losing a lot of his original parts for sure. So, okay, this is good. So we got a weapon building montage out of this old plane. Maybe we find a can of gasoline, and I wanted to find like maybe even like a like an old gun or something, and they're kind of maybe someone's eager to grab it and be like, perfect. But then Gunny is like, no, like, you don't know. That thing could blow up in your hand, kid. It's like 50 years old.
Like the gun that was attached to the fighter jet.
Exactly,
and it's like,
and he's sitting in there as a skeleton.
It's like 340 pounds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking like a handgun they could still bring with them.
Okay.
But it might be a bomb. It might work. It has one bullet in it. That type of situation. So maybe that'll come into play later.
Save that for yourself.
That's right. You don't want to be alone with a robot panda.
You don't want to have those coconut bras on when the robot panda gets
locks in on you. It loves coconuts more than you love coconuts, more than you love anything. How do you know so much about this robot panda? Been around the world. I've seen a lot of things, and a lot of back rooms and a lot of bars. Okay. So they're feeling maybe a little more prepared, and they basically, so King of the Mountain, they got to kind of storm.
Oh yeah, King of the Mountain.
They got to kind of storm this mountain though. They've kind of decided, and I don't know, John, should the panda throw down the gauntlet kind of, and I don't know how direct it needs to be because it's a panda, but also a robot, where it's clear that like, I challenge you, like if you can defeat me and take the mountain, then Gwen is yours. And again, how clear the robot panda is, we can figure that out later, but I feel like you should challenge them to
the robot panda doesn't speak perfect English or
maybe
English,
any English
or speak.
Yeah.
And they can't like send them a text message because they don't have cell phone reception. But what the robot panda does is, as it's climbing the mountain, we see it turn its head and look back, and it activates its laser eyes and burns a message into the tree right next to Cap as they're doing their weapons montage.
Perfect.
And it types out a little like, I'm the king. You can have the island. I'm the king of the mountain. And Gwen this female, I want it to be like pejorative.
Right.
This human meat is mine.
As long as I'm king of the mountain, everything on the mountain is I own, or whatever. Yeah, okay, I got it. Because we got to give, and maybe so we give them a goal, give Cap and his ragtag team at least a slimmer ray of hope. If we can defeat this panda, maybe its programming will shut him down, and he'll walk away from Gwen and leave us alone if he thinks, he's lost the mountain and the island. He's built his only program. He's king of the mountain or nothing. which is a weird thing.
Yeah,
to
he's
code
coded in BASIC,
okay,
which was like one of the first programming languages. So he doesn't have just a couple of if-thens, but it's basically if king of the mountain, then win.
Perfect.
If not, become king of the mountain.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So they've got their mission. They've got some weapons, and still no pants on Captain No Pants, but that's fun.
Yeah, I think that whole movie would be him wearing a long button down with a slight blur underneath, just in case the tip comes out.
Right. And maybe more people are taking their pants off. It's a hot island. Maybe he's able to move. He was chafing a lot on the beach, but
true. Maybe it's just like away. It's a sign. It's a form of you. You know what? We're all going pantsless with you, Cap.
Maybe in unity, they tie their pants together as a sort of weapon. Maybe they just don't have their pants on anymore. It's a bunch of pantsless men.
We don't need a reason. We're just going pantsless with you, Cap.
Right.
Gwen's gonna be so excited to see us.
Right, exactly.
She's like playing spades with the bear. She's having the time of her life.
Right.
This poor girl has been on a ship full of these dudes.
Exactly. For months. I'm just happy to be alone for a little bit so I can fart.
Panda doesn't give a shit about it. He's like, I didn't even notice, honestly.
Exactly. I can't smell or anything. I'm a robot.
So I think they could take their weapons montage, get their message from Robot Panda, beer number 3, and begin their hike up the Panda Trail towards the king of the mountain.
Yes.
And the goal is that they become king of the mountain. We're still talking about king of the mountain, so I think we can get to a confrontation.
Oh, yeah.
And, the mountain climb, sure, some things, some tough. They use their pants rope to pull up Gunny. And everybody is it's not like K2.
No.
It's a mountain, but it's kind of like you and your dad could walk this mountain.
I like that. You make it a pant ladder. They'll take their pants off to make a pant ladder.
Just for Gunny.
Right.
Why'd you sharpen your peg, dude? You needed that.
Quiet. You'll thank me later. Whatever his accent is.
I hope the next beer is peg in the hole.
We're going to find out.
We're already at 4 beer names.
Right before the credits roll in every movie, there's that scene where you think, how the hell did they come up with this? For us and for this movie is given to us by Brad H., a beer made by Barbarian Brewing called Bluetooth 2021.
Very specific.
I don't know if anything in the real world happened. I think Bluetooth certainly existed before 2021.
Yes, for sure.
Maybe that was when they invented like a slightly better blue. I don't understand. Barbarian, I don't understand why you put that year in there.
But you did. So thank goodness, because we can use that right now. So, okay, how? Well, I think, okay, so we pick up where we left off. We've got our weapons. We're climbing up the mountain. There's showdown with Robot Panda. And we get up there, right? And there's another clearing, top of the mountain, Robot Panda. Gwen's there. Maybe she's having the time of her life. Maybe she's scared, but happy to see a bunch of pantsless men emerge sweaty out of the woods with a bunch of oars.
Gwen's a top OnlyFans contributor, and she couldn't be more excited about this.
That's what you think. She's having a crazy fever dream right now, which she might be. We
might
all be
part of
having
my stream.
It's all happening. It's finally happening. What I've been asking for. I'm writing about this in my vision book. So, okay, so this showdown happens, and I'm imagining, since we now have this ridiculous beer to help us out, a classic battle of a bunch of, hardy seafaring dudes with their makeshift weapons fighting a giant robot bear in the woods. We've all seen this before. Pantsless. A lot of cartwheel attacks.
I mean, I watched a movie called The Gorge on Apple TV, which was good enough not to turn off.
That's right.
But basically the same film.
Yeah, exactly. So we're getting this great epic battle, and maybe things are going well for Cap and so on to start, but then they're fighting a robot panda with 60-year-old weapons tied to sticks. So I think things are going to take a turn. Even though they're outnumbering the bear, I think it just activates its laser claws and makes quick work of all the oars and the rusty knives and
the palm fronds, which were really their best weapon because they blinded the bear, are just decimated into what looks like an Applebee's salad instantly.
And as this is happening, maybe Two-Toed Jimmy the youngest of the crew, even though he sounded old a little while ago, everyone here is
his
85.
balls dropped when he saw that
right.
Robot Panda, but Two-Toe Jimmy is an intern on the ship.
There we go. Perfect.
He's 17, said he was 19, ran away from home.
Got it. All right. Perfect. I like that. And so he maybe gets knocked by the bear, thrown into the bushes, half awake, half asleep. But things look bad for Cap and his crew, and Robot Panda's really just getting started.
Yeah, you're not gonna beat a bear in a fight.
Right.
None of you listening to this, which it could include everyone in the world, you're not gonna beat a bear in a fight. And you're definitely not gonna beat a robot panda in a fight.
Exactly.
Even if there are 6 of you.
Yeah, there's no bear will be able to beat a robot panda. Like, this is almost an unstoppable machine. Wyatt's on this island just capturing women and playing King of the Mountain. Yeah, programming's programming.
CIA experiment.
Sure.
Probably.
Right.
We don't
this
know.
This is already so much better than all of Lost, so I don't want to hear any complaints. But anyway, yeah. So Robot Panda, surprise to no one, is beating all these half asleep, pantsless men that don't really have never been in a fight with a bear, let alone a robot one. And yeah, things are bad, but
Gunny's laying down,
sure,
like next to the bear, and he's just holding his one foot up, and he keeps yelling at everyone, "Get him to stand over me, Peg! I've got it sharpened!
Push him down!
Push him onto my leg!"
Like, what are you gonna do? It's a robot. Can't stab him in the heart. He has no heart. Right. So things just aren't. Their plan that seemed kind of okay is falling down around them, and then Two-Toe Jimmy kind of wakes up, regains consciousness, and maybe his phone fell out of his pocket when he got chucked, which again has no service. But what's going to happen, John? What should he be able to do?
It's like the reverse of everyone's nightmare when you go to check out a quick porn video and you realize that it's playing on the Bluetooth speaker somewhere else.
Exactly.
The reverse happens where Jimmy sees his phone and the Bluetooth pop up.
Perfect.
Do you want to connect to Robot Panda SM341.26?
Yes.
And he's like, well, shit. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Right.
You know, the guys are all getting distracted with Gunny trying to get the bear to sit down on a sharpened peg leg so he can poke him in his USB port. And Jimmy clicks connect. And like all times you try and connect, it just says failed.
Right.
And then he clicks connect again and it says failed.
Yes.
And then he clicks, he's like, you see him just connect, fail. Yes. And then finally it pops up and he hits the 0000 pair.
Yes.
And it allows him to, anyone that's ever gone through that, I'm glad we got to relive that together. That's me Bluetooth connecting to anything in my garage. So yeah, he finally gets the successful paired, and the bear's eyes go from laser red to just flashing blue, letting you know.
Yes, it's pairing. It's happening. Love this. Freezes just as he's about to step on Gunny's trick leg. No, what happened? I had him, boys. I had him.
Trying to
just stick his leg up at him as he's laying on the ground, extremely exposed. But the bear just kind of freezes, blue eyes now blinking, stands up, stops attacking them. And Two-Toe Jimmy was, a few moments before useless in this fight, now is potentially saved the battle.
He didn't wear his pants because he would have shit them.
right. Happy that everyone's happy he did. His phone fell out of him. So now they've got control of this huge bear, John, and they can do whatever they want. Gwen's okay. They grab her. She's like, oh, it actually wasn't that bad. I had some peace and quiet. I took a nap.
What did he do to you? What did he make you do to him?
Charged himself on that stump for a bit.
Apparently there's solar panels on the island.
Right, exactly.
You didn't really talk to me, but I didn't feel too scared. I appreciate it. There's a loving scene between Cap and Gwen, and I found your earring and I thought I'd lost you. It looks like you lost your pants again, silly.
A lot of. I'll have me get that sand.
You almost
out
lost your pants.
Right, what's happened? What were you guys doing down on the beach?
Oh, boys! And then there's like a intermission. 5 minutes later, all the guys are smoking a cigarette. Everyone feels a little bit more relaxed.
Ooh, that was good for me. Was it good for you? Okay, this is good. But now they've got control of this bear. Still stuck on this island, though. So what can they do? Can they just hack into this thing and
Oh, yeah, this is a movie. Two-Toe Jimmy has just become our computer hacker guy.
Right.
You can tell because he got glasses on.
Yep.
And he's like, oh guys, I can hack into this thing. I've got the, I don't know why his voice changed, but I've got the BIOS. I've pulled up the information. I'm connecting to his network, and I'm reprogramming. I'm turning off King of the Mountain program. Perfect. Oh my God, there's all these other programs on here. Look at this. And the bear starts doing like a cha-cha sort of thing, like dancing like a Chuck E. Cheese robot.
Right.
And everyone's having fun with that. And he's like, but wait, there's other things we can do.
Right.
We can crawl inside the bear, and it can keep us warm. Right. Openable chest compartment.
Cavern protocol. Right. Its back opens up and they kind of climb in. Let's see. What's this take home? And maybe it could kind of end in a bit of a cliffhanger where they're like, we don't know where we are. We don't really, we understand this bear can now keep us warm inside it like a tauntaun. And we'll just go with this. And maybe there is like a kind of return to home protocol that they click on, like but they have a quick debate of like, well, we don't want to stay here, but God, anywhere is better than here, right? And the movie ends with them getting in the bear basically going into the water, shooting across the ocean. And it could end with like, you see the view of the bear as it scoots off along the endless shoreline towards the setting sun. That's seen from like the periscope of a submarine that goes down, and then a guy with an eye patch and golden teeth just takes a step back and goes, everything's right on schedule, and then it ends.
Yes. Maybe include one include one takeaway. There's like a little beeping button that says return to home,
right,
in a science lab. And you hear some scientists sounding all silent, like, oh, yes, it's coming home. Okay. And we zoom out, and then we see that this is occurring in Lagerstein.
Oh, this is Lagerstein.
The maker of the Robot Panda.
Oh, yes.
It just says, like, ways to take over a country.
Right,
animatronic snake crossed out. Right. Robot Panda, question mark.
Question mark. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Wow. All right, John.
That felt actually really good, Harrison.
Yes, it did. It felt fun. It was fun. Holy crow. So thank you, Greg, for this challenge. That was a really cool way to kind of reimagine the Fast Five. We had no idea what was happening, which we never do on these shows, but truly to make a whole movie up a scene at a time almost. I mean, that was great.
I'm glad we started on an island of endless possibilities. Robot Panda stole the show.
Really came in.
I feel like that happens most of the time in our Fast Fives too. All these would have been different beers, but this is a great way to celebrate. We've made 25 Fast Fives. We made 25 feature films tonight, which is exactly the halfway point that we set out when we started this podcast. We were going to do 50 feature films. So
indeed,
what a great way to do our 25th and just say fuck you, figure it out.
And we did. So thanks again, Greg. Great idea, super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And so next week, should we tell them? Next week, you guys are probably wondering, wait a second, they just did a feature right now. What are we gonna do next week? Next week we're doing a Fast Five with another twist. So make sure you tune into that one right away, as soon as it comes out, and you'll learn more about what we're talking about then. But until next week.
I forgot what the twist was. Can you tell me now, but not them?
Yeah. Don't worry, John. Don't worry, John. I'll let you know.
Peace.
Punch.
Give me your Robot Panda.